Hello and welcome to your 6th tutorial in your series of C++ tutorials. Last time I told you something about something called if statements. Today's tutorial is going to be about something called switch statements. Switch statements is a little bit more complicated than if statements, so point out your ears and follow my direction. My first direction is to create a new source file. Please do that. And now enter the boring right information. Now we're going to create a new int variable. To do so, type int, and we're going to call this variable x. Set it equal to let's see, 2. And now in here, inside your engine, type switch, switch. Create two of these parameters and two curly brackets to open and close your switch statement. And now inside these two parameters you type x. So now the switch statement will switch between the options that x has, and x has 3 options. It has 0, 1, 2, and that's 3 because the computer counts 0 and 2. So now type case, C-A-S-E, 0, and now a colon, not a semicolon. That's a very important thing to remember. Now type cout and line x is equal to 0. And now there's a break break, which breaks off this case, ends the case. So now it means that if x is equal to 0, it'll say x is equal to 0. Now let's do other cases. So now if x is equal to 1, it'll say x is equal to 1. Finally, and 2, x is equal to 2. Now let's try and compile and run it. First of all, save this as switch. Wait for it to compile. Now it says x is equal to 2. So now what if you would like it to say x is equal to 0? Then you change the value of x to 0. Compile and run it. X is equal to 0, and same thing with 1. Change the value of x to 1, and now we'll say x is equal to 1. But now what if none of these cases that you created appears true? And how will they not be true if you change x to 3? Now instead of a new case that's called case 3, create a default case, and you do this by type default, default, colon, then type cout no case matches for x, and like a default case, break this off with a break statement. Now it says if x is equal to 0, it'll say x is equal to 0. If it's equal to 1, it'll say x is equal to 1. 2, it'll say x is equal to 2. And finally, if none of these cases is true, it'll say no case matches for x. Compile and run it. And now it says no case matches for x. So let's just recap one more time, and then I'm going to finish off this tutorial. First of all, you created a variable called x, and its value is 3. Then you have a switch statement that switches between the values of x. The first value that it looks for is 0. If it finds this value if it finds the value 0 in x, it'll say x is equal to 0. If it finds the value 1 in x, it'll say x is equal to 1. 2, it'll say x is equal to 2. And finally, if none of these cases are true, it'll say no case matches for x. I guess that's it. I'll see you in my next tutorial.